Da-na-na-na, da-na-na-na-na-na, Monday morning. What's more excited than a Monday morning? Yeah, you're probably thinking, well, T Dog, probably about everything else. I'm really tired. I'm not feeling it today. Well, to focus more on the improvements of things, to be in a state of appreciation and forgiveness, I wanted to go over an exercise I find very powerful, very helpful that I do not only with my coaching clients, but with myself and kind of learning and gaining that awareness and clarity can be the difference in how we need to show up, what we need to do in order to be the best version of ourselves. Here at talktotanner.com, and with my coaching, our goal is to simply make you a better you so you can be better for the people that you love and care about, your family, such as your children, your spouse, girlfriend, boyfriend, your coworkers, the people you have the pleasure of coming in to interact with. And our one of our greatest gifts is just being a better version of ourselves. I say this a lot in most of the episodes. If we want to change the world, we got to change ourselves. And that's exactly what we're doing here over at Talk to Tanner. And I hope that I'll have the pleasure someday of working with you, helping improve and impact in some way. Not to hesitate any longer. I know these Monday mornings can be really busy, and I know we want to get up and get after it. So we'll go ahead and we'll get right into the exercise. I'll go ahead and share my screen. So we are over, starting with the exercise, and really kind of the cornerstone of it. This would be you can't know anyone until you know yourself. This is personal work, internal work. This is on us, for us, because it is our responsibility to show up. It is our responsibility to be happy. It is our responsibility to build the career capital and skills in order to get the opportunities that we know we truly deserve. That luck equation we've talked about in the past, skill meaning opportunity, and it comes from this internal work. This is the foundation, or this is what in my when we're lacking motivation, because you'll do the things that you want to be doing, but we need a foundation to stand on to get started. And this is always a good way to get in that state of those two magic keywords: appreciation and forgiveness. These are two major values of mine, and I hope that you start to incorporate them in your own life. So sit back, think of how you can do this exercise, how this relates to you, your working relationships, not only with other people, but with yourself. So starting off, I want you to think of three skills you've improved over the last 90 days. Three skills that you've improved over the last 90 days. Number one, I'm going to go through my own personal examples, but I want you to write down your own. If you got to pause to get a pen, a piece of paper, or whatever it is, go do that. You got to have some type of journal, something to record this, whether it's a blank Google Doc, such as this one, or that I create all the time for note keeping if you want it on a computer base to share with others, or just going to the notebook where this is your placeholder for your own personal improvement. They're literally $1 at the store. No excuses. They're $1. I know you can get one. And whether you got to write on it, personal development on it, awareness, clarity, relationship with myself, whatever title, name that shit and really label it. Let's get honest with it and let's get going at it. Number one, in day 52, last Friday, we talked about anxiety and ways to handle this. A skill I have improved. By implementing the things that we were talking about in day 52, generally don't feel nearly as much anxiety about when it comes to giving presentations and speeches. This is good. This allows me to perform at a higher level, to be in that value of giving and taking. I get to learn all this fun information, and then I get to go give it to people who I care about, and then they can give it to their children, they can give it to their partner, they can give it to their coworkers, and that feels really good. And that makes me really happy. And focusing on that tends to make the anxiety go away. So if you want more tips on anxiety, specifically, say if you struggle that with yourself, then please go back over to day 52, last Friday's live episode, and you can check out more tips and tricks on that. But skill number one that I've improved is handling better than anxiety, because we don't get rid of it, we just handle it. Next, number two, reducing drinking and smoking. And smoking I refer to as pot, marijuana, what I guess we can add that. I don't know if that's important, relevant, whatever. But reducing drinking and smoking pot to only on the weekends when I have special plans with friends and family. I've noticed that when I do drink on the week, because I'm a guy in my 20s. I like to drink beer and, I like to smoke weed more than I would like to admit. And especially like through college, but now getting into this career phase and this personal growth phase and just writing down in notebooks, like what is working, what is not working, what can I do differently? I just realized like, man, let's just give this up for a little bit during the weekdays and kind of see how it goes. My sleeping's gotten better. I'm more focused on my work. I just feel better overall. And it's like, okay, I'm going to do that. I'm not going to completely give this stuff up because say when I'm going on currently on a trip in Canada, backpacking. Yeah. When I get to the top of the Canadian Rockies, I'm probably going to smoke a joint with my brother, call me a bad guy. But sometimes I think there's a balance to this stuff, and I think there's a time and a place with it. Or when I go up to Michigan to go hang out with my best friend and his family, we're going to play spoons. We're going to play the board games at night, and I'm going to have a few drinks, and that's okay. But just giving an awareness and the understanding of it is a skill in itself. So I'm very excited to say, like, I'm improving this skill, and I know the time and place when that comes into it. So skill number two is just reducing drinking and smoking during the weekdays, just only on the weekends. The last skill and more of a business thing is using systems to help operate my business when I'm out traveling to improve myself. Right now, this is a pre-recorded show, and I'm currently out in the Canadian Rockies. Monday morning, out on a hike, rock climbing, kayaking in some of those massive, beautiful lakes, and trying to really focus on what it is I care about in life, trying to personally grow. I value adventure so much. I love that shit. And not getting to it at all ever and working all the time, I'll just burn out and I won't be driven to come back to create this type of content. So putting in those systems to help operate my business. So maybe the challenge to you on that skill would be, how can I automate? How can I delegate? And how can I better organize my own situations and improve skills so I can work hard when I need to? And then I can also make time for myself to help focus on what the hell is really going on. What do I really value? What do I love? So I can be present for the most precious moments and opportunities. This could be different for you, whether it's going to the Canadian Rockies or just making sure that you're present for your kid's soccer game, or there's a wedding for your best friend coming up. We want to make sure that we're not completely working in the business 24/7 and making time to work on the business sometimes. So helping improve skills with that, I appreciate, and I'm really excited about the skills and the things that we're implementing to help make this smoother and better for everyone involved. Okay, state of appreciation. The second part of this exercise, I want people to go over, need to get a drink of water real quick. Excuse me. Before I get choked up and start talking about mistakes, right? The second part of this is all about forgiveness. So this first state is about appreciation, and the second one is more on forgiveness. Learning to forgive ourselves. I think usually the biggest obstacle in our way is ourselves, and we all make mistakes. I've made mistakes. I'm a life coach. I read a sickening amount of personal development books, man, like at least 2 hours a day, and still make mistakes all the freaking time. That's just how this works. Nobody's perfect. People fuck up. That's how it goes. But the difference between the people who succeed and are happy with the success that they have, and I'm not talking just making a bunch of money, I'm talking about feeling good. Who the hell are you? And you feel good and proud about who the hell you are. So, and forgiveness is going to have to be a crucial value that we embed over the long haul because, man, nobody did anything for a long period of time and didn't make any mistakes. You know, that classic statistic with Michael Jordan, he missed like 90,000 shots or some stuff. And he's, the GOAT, or in my regards, no one needs to argue that, I'm sure, cares to talk about on this type of show. Regardless, we all make mistakes, and that's going to happen. I've made mistakes, and I forgive myself for making these mistakes. So I want you to write out, I have made mistakes. I forgive myself for making these mistakes. Some mistakes is I'm not always a hard worker. I'm sure it can come off with this, and a lot of times with Instagram, with the social media outlets, when you're just like looking on the outer edge and you're not that person and you see their like nice car, you see the nice house, and you're like, damn, they're just really good at that. They're just always rocking it. No, that mean they have mistakes too. They could have skeletons in the closet. We all do. The Buddha talks about how everybody's got 83 problems and he helps you with the 84th, realizing that we all have the 83 problems. So I've made mistakes. I forgive myself for making the mistakes. I'm not always a hard worker. I do work hard and I value having a hard work ethic, but it's okay if you're not a hard worker 24/7. Like that's just not realistic. So just understand where it is you want to go, where are you at? And in the past, if you're not, I forgive myself and I'm going to learn from this and I'm going to improve from this. Number two, I had to learn to be honest. Honesty, from people who probably know me when I was a kid, I was a little storyteller. And sometimes I would tell a white lie to feel better, to feel included, to feel cool. And then all that did was leave an emptiness because at the end of the day, I knew that was true. And when it comes to stories and when it comes to accolades and accomplishments, everyone has so much shit going on that they're not really worried about, or they care, but they don't, if that makes sense. Like people care for your well being, but the smaller, finer details, they have so much stuff to worry about for themselves that it all comes back to you. And it's your responsibility to forgive yourself for doing this. This is a learning process, but honesty is best policy. It always is and always will be. So I had to learn to be honest with myself, and that it can be painful and it can be tough. But if we pull back to a lot of those things and feelings and we just kind of feel what's going on, why are we saying the things we're saying, and we give that clarity and awareness to that, it can really help motivate us and rejuvenate us to tell the truth, to be honest. And just when you're honest, you just don't have to look over your shoulder all the time or have to remember a bunch of details. And if you grow any big business and it's based off lies, you're going to be walking on eggshells, not sure what you said, when, and where. And that's just too much chaos to manage. And it's really hard to find peace. So I had to learn to be honest. And lastly, I was not always reliable. I remember there's been people who've reached out to me about like working on stuff, getting help with things, and I didn't always follow back, not 100% of the time. And I forgive myself for that. There was when I was first starting my real estate business and and then I was barely into it. I bought a rental property too, and then I just started a coaching company because I was really passionate about it. And the two were getting too jumbled up, and my skills as an entrepreneur were not ready yet. And I was running around. I was always late to shit and kind of behind. I just wasn't like very reliable. And I forgive myself for that hiccups. I forgive myself for showing up late sometimes. I forgive myself for not always following up when people were looking out for me, wanting to help me, and I didn't follow up on the leads. And yeah, I mean, it hurts to say that stuff and you don't like that, but it's the truth. And I'm willing to forgive myself and I'm willing to improve off of it. So today's exercise, you go over 3 skills that you've improved over the last 90 days. in this state of appreciation. Because if you really just sit down and focus, you are enough, you are loved, and you are improving. You're getting better. And the more you improve those skills, the more opportunities that will come, and you'll be getting lucky, baby. And that's what we love to hear and know, right? Next, list out some mistakes and forgive yourself. People make mistakes. You're going to make more mistakes in the future. You've made mistakes in the past, but forgiveness is the path to peace. Remember that. Forgiveness. I forgive you for the things that you've done. I forgive myself for the mishaps that I've come along the way. And sometimes just giving yourself a break, man, and just understanding a lot of times the biggest person who's in our way is ourselves, and we can do ourselves a whole lot of good just by being in a state of appreciation and forgiveness. Let's go ahead and pop back to the show, and that looking trippy, still on one screen. So I hope this exercise was helpful. Monday morning, I know it's getting chaotic, and we got a lot to do, and there's a lot of things that we get to do. Having that positive, having that strong relationship with language, being in a state of appreciation, being in a state of forgiveness. Try this exercise, share it with people you care about. And if you ever need help breaking this stuff down or diving deeper into it, please go over to shoot, it's always backwards. I always mess that up. Go to talktotanner.com and you can book a free session if you want to work with me individually one-on-one and see if we can help give clarity and awareness to that state of appreciation, the skills that you're kicking ass with. I can be a champion for you. I'll be here for you. And then also, if you need to just talk about some things, you need to forgive yourself for the past so you can eliminate those limiting beliefs and give yourself some rocket fuel to know that you get that weight off your shoulder and get after it and the stuff that you want and you can and get to do, then let's get excited about it. It's Monday morning. Let's make this week a great one. The opportunity to be alive, to feel, to do, to just be here right now it's amazing. And I hope that even if it's just one step forward, that we can appreciate that step. We can continue to grow and become the best version of ourselves so we can help other people, the ones that we care about most. Thank you all. Try this exercise, share it with friends, family, coworkers, and always never forget to have an amazing day. Put a smile on your face, share a laugh, make it a positive one. It is what you make it, right, baby? So we're off to it. Monday morning. Everyone enjoy. Have a wonderful Monday and go help someone today and make it the world a better place. Cheers, friends. Happy Monday. And I'll talk to you tomorrow, Tuesday, get my days mixed up. Tuesday at 5:30 a.m. Mountain Standard Time because we're still running around in the Canadian Rockies. Have a good one. Cheers. Until next time.